is man aligned good? Is shading going to help him? Like, how can this guy run a man-to-man defense and feel good about it? So let's go back out, call man coverage. Where would you recommend starting with an actual formation? Like, you don't want to call 2-4-5. You want to call what, dollar?
Dollar, quarters,
big dime
is good. Anything where you get the four corners on the field, and specifically, like, what's good about the, like what you have here from this look, your corners are in the slots by default, so like they're gonna align better in those slots if you get a gun spread or a trip set. Whereas if you were the linebacker's not gonna press, like if you call press, so that's where it can be difficult at times. So let's just come out in something like this. We'll go FL spot. So this is a good matchup here, and I would say the first thing you have to be aware of are routes that you think could cause problems, like the tight end not getting pressed off the line on the corner route. That's like, okay, that's step one. Who do I have to watch out for?
Always,
yep. Always gonna watch out for a tight end corner. So I would say, like, part of playing man to man is identifying where are the spots on every play or formation that you come out in. Like, what's the route that's gonna hurt me? So if I saw this formation, I'd say tight end number one. He's my number one priority. And then I would look at, like, Rodgers, the slot guy, because he could be on unique routes. He could also be on a corner. He could be on a post. He could be on a weird crossing pattern. So I would always think, okay, he probably can get a free release. And then the far right receiver, Coates, I usually think, because he's off the line, he probably could, like, have a chance to run like a Z-spot route, which is like unpress. And then everything else you have to kind of concede.
Right.
You could also give up corner strikes. You have to watch out for
corner strikes. Really tough. You got to be ready to make the adjustment against it.
Yeah.
But what I really like about covering corner strike is, for corner strike to work, if they think it's man, they can just run the C route, right? Because they don't need a flat to run corner strike. If it's zone coverage, they need the flat to run corner strike so that it pulls the zone away from it. So corner strike actually is probably going to be more effective against man now because it only requires one route, the C route. Whereas, again, zone now, cloud flats, before you needed two zones to stop one C route. Now you can pretty much stop the deep part of the C routes with one zone.
Right.
So that's been a big change to me in corner strike, and one reason it's not as effective anymore. But let's take a look at, like, the two big adjustments you would make for man defense, right? So if you're going to go back to running man defense, you can spy one guy, let them roll out. This is from last year. I do think that there are really good players, man ratings-wise, in MUT now that can be rock solid. So we'll show you how to send the spy. We did not send the spy there. We just let the quarterback kind of get stared down by the spy. So we'll do that. And then you'll see him roll out. We can click the right stick. You see him run in. That forces him to make a tough decision. And since you can't really run with the QB or playmaker as well this year, it's tougher to lock him down. What are some other adjustments? Are you cool with taking safeties away? Like, if you think it's a quarter route, are you going to do this?
Depends.
If you think it's Z-spot post, what would you do? How would you make changes to it?
Sure. So if you reset the play, my first thing that I would try here is I would take the blitzing DN on the right, linebacker, Nikovic, and I would put him on a buzz. That would be the very first thing I do. Because I want to see, okay, maybe I can get away with rushing three.
Yeah.
I know I'm worried about that corner. If I put the buzz out there, I feel more confident. Okay, I can probably stop it. He's going to get in that general area, and then you're going to worry about the scramble game. That's part of it. That's part of what you're going to go through. If you're worried about the scramble, then you need to leave the pass rusher there and then play quarterback contain.
Yep.
So play quarterback contain.
So L trigger, right stick.
Right. So now I can't scramble, but now I lose the resource to stop that corner against man.
Right. Now you got to do this.
Now I have to user it, but then I leave other things open.
Right. And then you got to user this guy.
Right. So now that creates that situation. Okay. Now I can't get out of the pocket as well. Now the corner stopped, but now I'm controlling the deep safety. So now I could get hit over the top. So it's like a guessing game. If I were to worry about stopping Z-spot, what I would do is I would probably take the D tackle and I would drop him directly deep. That would be a first thing I would look at. And the other thing, actually, believe it or not, is if I would take the far right corner. This is an option, right? Take the far right corner, put him on the flat. Then I would take the far left pass rush and D end, and I'd man him up on what I think is Z-spot. So I'd man him up, play cross man, leave the flat there, and then I would user Roberts. I would rush the nose tackle too.
Sure.
But because that's a great way to stop it from zone.
Got it.
Cross man. So let me just change my coverage up a little bit. I'll protect that flat. And you could probably even drop the linebacker that's manned up on the halfback. You could probably drop him into coverage because the flat's covered.
Right.
So, barring Bell, like you kind of want.
I gotta watch
Bell.
Le'Veon if he runs the.
If he runs like a wheel.
Yeah, or the wheel, you're kind of toast.
Yeah.
If he runs the four verticals.
Also, if they see it,
if they
see that.
The four verticals halfback route.
Yeah.
Out of the backfield, if he runs,
tough.
that's the one you got to use her.
But the thing is,
that's not gonna get stopped by a man route anyway.
It doesn't matter to have him on man anyways.
Right.
So you could almost make the argument that like, it's best to, if they know you're a man, like you probably should just not even have the halfback manned up.
Right.
Like maybe drop him on a buzz, drop him on a cloud flat. You know what I mean?
Now you got a Mabel.
Now you got a Mabel. That's kind of genius.
That's pretty good.
Because now even if they run that, your responsibility is to cover Bell.
Because realistically, Le'Veon Bell, the only routes he can run are curl, like a quick little flat, but from...
You're going to have to guard it.
Yeah.
Right?
And he could run it with, I guess, like, wow, Big Ben's breaking tackles today. But he could, call that from four verticals. So that's one route you got to look out for that beats almost any coverage in the game.
Right.
Unless you user it, so why not user it?
Yeah.
And if they run a table, then you have a hard flat,
Right.
so you're good.
I think the most important thing to note about man is that there are very specific things that will beat it. Like zone kind of changes every play. Like sometimes maybe the drag will be open more. Maybe some plays the Z spot's going to be open more. Or sometimes the a vertical down the sideline will get open against a soft squat. If you have a halfback swing underneath, it gets open a little bit more. Man is a little more consistent in that, like, you got a route that beats it, it's going to beat it every time. And so you then have to be ready for what are those things that beat it? What are my adjustments to stop it? And you have to kind of be aware of all those and then make the right play call in the right situation. Like if it's 3rd and 1, what are you going to probably be worried about? Just a couple drags? Like you worry about
drags, inside zone, and I would cram the middle a little bit more, and I would say, all right, I'm going to let you throw downside. Yeah, I'm going to just watch the short middle,
Right. You're going to worry tight ends.
Yeah.
You're going to always be worried about tight end drags.
Because they're not going to get pressed, and then I would look to drop back
Even
to
that
there.
can hurt you.
Right.
First down.
Yeah.
Right,
So that's a look into man coverage. We'll cover shading real fast here. So Gibbs, do you like to shade? I'll show you how to do it. You basically just press Y, and then you can use outside shading, inside shading, over the top, or underneath. I don't like it for man. I used to like it. Do you like man align though? So if I man align, not a lot changes in two-man under, but where it does change is in cover zero blitzes. So spinner, perhaps.
Yep.
I don't know if we'll have.
You might have a
version.
Yeah, they go
DB sting. So like a cover zero blitz. If you come out in a formation that's going to be tougher to align against than that, we'll be forced to call man align, which is kind of the next level of getting your safeties lined up. So here you see guys that are aligned. Like green is nowhere near his assignment. So if I am to man align, no change.
Yep.
Interesting.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, hey, what if I flip it? What does it look like?
They're just baseline. Let me
do man align now. See how they're going to switch assignments, uncover the halfback.
Gotcha. Okay. And then I got to user the halfback, or
no? You're blitzing too many guys.
It's too many guys.
Correct.
It's too much sauce, dude.
You're blitzing 7 guys. So that's why the halfback's uncovered. But the whole point of the spinner can catch you off guard every time.
Oh, absolutely, can catch you off guard.
Yeah, it's also good run D.
So, say I shade inside, Y inside. Let's see if McCourty gets to where green is or what.
Okay.
Did he sit on the inside hip? Not
Didn't
really.
look like it.
Yeah.
I in general, I haven't used man shading since Madden 12, 13.
13. You could really see it.
You could really, but it was how you stopped the out. Remember, like that was what you did. So, and I think it was more so with like press.
When do you see people calling spinner most? For run defense or for
run defense?
For run D.
When they're like, okay, I know you're gonna run. I'll tell you, I saw Dubby do it perfectly in the Problem Madden Bowl championship game. There was probably about 3 or 4 times in the second half, and Problem got into a big time cadence of on first down run the ball. Dubby was aware of it, and every first down, not every, but 3 or 4 fourth downs in the second half, he called spinner to try and slow down the run. So like it's a really good run D. So if you anticipate run, and what's good about it run D is like show your play art. You cover every gap. That's why.
Right.
If you show right stick right. See how every gap is filled?
Yep.
So that's what's good about it. That's why spinner's good, because you're blitzing 7 guys.
Absolutely. It's a
All
lot of cheddar. Snap this.
Kind of fire.
All right.
Ooh.
So those are some options for adding in your man coverage. We've gone over who we think are really good man cover corners: Blount, Harris, Jenkins, Roby. Willie Brown's agility is a little low. I've been testing him.
Night Train Lane is kind of getting out.
Lane's a little bit slower.
For man.
Dion's obviously good, but you got to add chemistries and build towards it, and hopefully it should help you.
Play the Emerson. Very important. If you really are serious about playing man, you need to have the Emerson in your lineup because it gives you +2 man coverage.
Champ Bailey 92 also from the Freeze.
Champ's
you can
good.
go there. Okay, let's go to the next question in the mailbag.